Hello and welcome. Today it's front brakes on an Evo2. We've got a Brembo caliper, Brembo pads and a vented disc. Now that disc looks okay, but it's got quite a ridge. It's well worn. It's got quite a ridge around it. So the back, I can feel the back, and it's a little bit rusty and a bit worn, and that's got a big ridge on it as well. So we need new discs. If we're fitting new discs, new pads as well, even though these pads have plenty of meat on them, we'll put new pads on as well. So we'll get on and do that. We've got the car jacked up at the front underneath the suspension mounting. That's good and safe. We've got it supported in the centre. That's safe also because we're going underneath. We've got another axle stand which I'm going to rest the brake caliper on. We're going to remove the brake caliper, and to save removing the pipes and having to bleed the brakes up again, we're going to remove this pipe support bracket here, and we're going to use the flexibility of the flexible hose to remove the caliper and rest it on that axle stand while we work on it. So in that, when we do that, we won't have to undo any pipes. So let's get on with that. Right, let's take this off. You can see that the components are oily. I like to keep the underneath components in that condition, and then these, we don't have to spray them with any WD-40 to remove. Pad removal, that's quite straightforward. Take a little screwdriver, knock the securing pins out. That's one. That's quite a spring clip on there, so we'll have to be careful of that. That spring clip. Okay, that's got that out. Give that a knock. And that's out. Okay, we'll take that spring clip out. So the brakes will be tight up against the disc. Now these pads won't easily release because they're behind the ridge. The pad is trapped behind the ridge on the outside of the disc. So we'll have to give them a bit of manipulation to get those clear. But that's fine, that's easy to do. So what we'll do is we'll take that, and we're going to put that on there. We're going to, let's put the camera down. I'm going to put that on there like that. And just squeeze the brake pad back. Okay, so that we can get that out. So it's trapped behind the ridge. I've taken the cap off the master cylinder so I can wind that back, just wind the pistons back and get the discs out. So that side, we'll do the same on that side. Just wind that back. Give us a bit of space in there so we can get the pads out. Get in there, that's it, that's got it. Okay, old faithful G-clamp. So they're slack. That'll come out. Right, let's get the caliper off. 17mm. They'll be tight. If they're too tight, sometimes I'll do a 2-spanner job. So let's see how that is. No, that's going, that's okay. Okay. That's off, so we'll use 17mm socket on the bottom one. Where are you? Right. Go on. That's it. Okay, we'll take those out. Take a bit of weight. So keep those careful. There's two nice fat washers on there, so keep those carefully. Oh, that's a bit boring undoing this. I won't be a minute now. Come on. Okay, that's got it. Right, so we'll put that to one side. We've got the axle stand, and then we can lift this carefully off. Now, there's no strain on it. We can rest it right there so it's comfortable. You be comfortable there. Right, that's got it. So it's under no strain because it's on the flexible pipe, so it's under no strain. So now we'll get the disc off. So the disc has a secure, and the other side had the proper fitment, which is a pin which rests the wheel on, but we haven't got one here, so we've just got one 12, let's see if it's 12 milli, we've got one 12 milli bolt. So we'll pull that out and then we can take the disc off. 12 milli. Just break that. Okay, that's off. Okay, that's out. Right, we'll put that there with the other ones. So I'll just give this a bit of a knock. Well, that came off. Now, let's have a look at the disc. Front doesn't look too bad, so you can see it's got a ridge in it. So when we turn it over to the back, we can see how poor the disc is. You can see the pads aren't making contact. There's quite a raised edge on it where it's worn. So even though on the front it doesn't look too bad, you could look through the wheel spokes and look at it, it was okay. On the back, that's not so good at all. So it's a good job we're replacing them. So that's what we'll do. Right, get a wire brush, and we'll just give this hub a bit of a clean. And then clean all that up. So you can see that the whole assembly here is well oiled. It's a good thing if you could just spray a bit of wax oil on or a bit of old engine oil. Just keep it oiled, and then if you ever come to do anything, as you most certainly will, like remove the ABS sensors or anything like that, the bolts, the nuts and bolts aren't seized with rust because you've given it a nice gentle coating of oil, and that'll soak into all the components, and they can be easily removed when you come to do it. So what I'll do is I'll get the new disc and I'll bring it over. These new discs are from Walker's. So I've got some braking clutch cleaner, and I'm going to clean the protective grease off or oil off. whatever it is that's on it, stop it going rusty on walker's shelves. So we'll clean that off. All new brake discs have a protective film, and you really do need to remove it or it can contaminate the pads. But that's fine, we can do that. Give it one more go, just to make sure. Okay. That's fine. You can use, this is basically carbon tetrachloride. You could use cellulose thinners or carbon tetrachloride. Don't use meths. I mean terps. Don't use terps because it's an oil-based product. So you'd just be putting another thin film of oil on. So use a chemical degreaser. That's your favourite, really. That's your carbon tetrachloride brake and clutch cleaner. Right, let's get that on. There's the disc. Line that hole up with that hole. Put that in. Do it up. There was no washer on, so I won't put a washer on. I won't put another washer on it. Do that up. Excellent. There's our disc. That's in place. So now we can put the caliper back. Right, I put a clean pair of gloves on so we don't contaminate the disc with oily gloves. What we need to do now is get the pistons back into the caliper to make room for the new pads. So it's a good test. If we can squeeze them in, yeah. It means they're free, which is a good thing. These are very good quality. The Brembo caliper is really very good quality with stainless steel pistons, which don't generally go rusty. So a lot of like the back brakes, the Bendix, the back brakes, the piston seize up if you don't use them because the pistons go rusty. But these are good quality. Brembo brakes are very good. And I've taken the lid off the master cylinder, so there's no pressure in the master cylinder, so we can squeeze these pistons back. Right, so we've made space. So what we need to do now is carefully, let's move that, carefully relocate the pipe support in its holes there. Okay, that's fine there. We'll get that baby back on there. Put that in there. We'll cut that cable tie. And we'll put that in the bottom. I say we'll put it in the bottom when I get it the thread lined up right. That's in there. And that's in there. Excellent. 17mm again. Right, and what I'll do is I'll put that on there and then give that a good tug. Make sure that's tight, right, that won't come off. So again, 17mm socket. Tighten the bottom one up. With that. That's tight, so that's not going anywhere. So pads, that one's in there, and that one's in there. Okay, so we can put our bottom pin, our bottom pad securing pin in to get them lined up. It's only a friction, it's only held in by this friction collar there, which is fine, that's good enough. So this is the top clip, which needs to go in that position there. So there's a bit of a spring on that. That can be a bit difficult to get in. If I can find the pin, there it is. Right, that can be a bit difficult to get past there, like that. Press that in, come on baby, okay. So just get that, push that in and give that a bit of a tap. Okay, that's got it. So those need one last knock to just make sure they're all the way home. I'm obscuring that, so that needs to just get that all the way in. Like that, okay. So those pins are in, those pads are in. We'll reconnect that, undo that and reconnect it. Right, I'll cut this cable tie, mind my fingers. Okay, that's off there. We'll take that off there. We'll take that. We'll just fit in that slot there. Reconnect that, right. So that is fine. It's no, it's not secure, is it? Let's just wind it around there, like that, okay. So that's secure, right? That's not going anywhere. So we don't have to cable tie that up, really. Although there is a cable tie there, an old one. Okay, so, oh, that's fine. That's not going to catch on anything. That's fine. So what we need to do now is just put these screws back on here. The 10 milli. You can see how we, I know I'm saying I like to oil underneath, but it does mean your fingers get dirty, so try not to put those dirty oily fingers onto the brake disc and contaminate your new disc. So we'll do these up. Okay. That's that one. Do the bottom one up. Excellent. Get the handle on that, take the 17 mil off. Not too tight, they're only little 10 mini bolts. Nuts. That's on, that's on, that's on, that's secure, the pins are in, the spring's in place, the pins are in properly, the caliper's secure and it's mounting, and the new disc is on. So that's complete. I would put the wheel back on, but it's got a puncture, so I'll have to leave the car on the jack. So that's fine, that's all done. I'm very happy with that. That job's done. Both sides are complete. We've checked everything's tight, so that's all good. All we need to do now, jump in the car, press the brake pedal a couple of times and pump the pads onto the disc, and then check the brake fluid level, which is okay. Put the lid back on, do the wires up, and we're good to go. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.